I voted for Donald Trump.
The Chef Creole restaurant in Miami's Little Haiti neighborhood is typically bustling with customers. Not today.
People are scared.
Owner Wilkinson Sedor says it's not just the clientele. After 34 years in business, he's lost his entire management team at 7 locations and will likely have to shut down 2 stores.
He sold to me that he is a businessman and that he will be making business decisions.
No, he did not. Anybody want to hear some F around and find out? Well, this guy right here, he's going to end up finding out. This guy right here. This MAGA dummy right here. I mean, you cannot make up the stupidity of this guy. And he's voting for Donald Trump and Republicans who don't give a flying fuck about him, period. At all. I mean, here's one for you. There was just an election, and in Michigan, there was a guy that was running for the Republican primary. He had no money. He couldn't do anything, so he decided to drop out of the race. His name was like Mark Smith or something like that. Jim Smith, something like this. Very white American sounding name. Donald Trump endorsed another guy who's black, and his name sounded ethnic, like it sounded Muslim. And they voted for the guy that's not even in the race anymore. That's how much they fucking hate these people. And yet you've got guys like this voting for Donald Trump. And because of that, his decision to vote for Donald Trump and also support of Donald Trump and his ideas, this guy's going to lose his business. You cannot make this up. What he voted for is making him lose his business. Exactly what I told him and everybody else. If you vote for Donald Trump, this exact thing that's going to happen to this guy that you're going to see in this story is what's going to happen to you. And now we're about to watch it right now. You cannot make this up. I mean, like the stupidity of MAGA knows no race.
I voted for Donald Trump.
The Chef Creole restaurant in Miami's Little Haiti neighborhood is typically bustling with customers. Not today.
People are scared.
Owner Wilkinson Sedor says it's not just the clientele. After 34 years in business, he's lost his entire management team at 7 locations and will likely have to shut down 2 stores.
I wonder why he would lose all of his management from 7 locations. What could it possibly be in the city of Miami that they are that would make them not be there anymore? What could it possibly be?
Due to the end of temporary protected status.
The end of protective status. So they were immigrants. So this dum-dum has an entire business that spans like multiple locations, and multiple locations filled with people that are immigrants, and he votes for the guy that's going to get rid of them. Can you be dumber? Can you be a dumber person than that? I mean, you cannot make this up. Let's continue. I mean, this is just unbelievable. They hand their stupidity to me on a silver platter.
The end of TPS means for me that my future in the hospitality business is almost going to be non-existent.
It means you're going to lose your business, son. That's what it means. And you voted for it. Like, you cannot make this up.
On Sunday, federal officers made an immigration arrest outside one of his restaurants.
What would you say to the president that you voted for?
He sold to me that he is a businessman and that he will be making business decisions.
No, he did not. No, he did not. Like, how is it that he doesn't know what I knew with 100% certainty what was going to happen to him? How did he not know that? You see, he voted for what he thought was going to happen to somebody else. He didn't know that it was going to happen to him. And now he's finding out. He's in that phase right now. He's going to lose his business. I mean, you cannot make up the stupidity of these people. It's unbelievable. Moving along here, though, we have I have this chart to show you from Robert Reich. He says his name wrong. He says Robert Reich, but everybody knows it's Robert Reich. And you can see this is the money that people had, right? And this is big business on the top, and then union, because of unions, the amount of money that people had. You could see it came to almost even, and then it just started splitting further and further away. And big business and the richest people on the planet kept on getting more and more of their own money, keeping it, not paying anybody, going less and less in terms of work conditions and the whole 9 yards. And now here we are, where it's gone all the way down. Unions have gone all the way down. Workers have gone all the way down. Conditions, pay, especially pay, right? Benefits, all that has done nothing but gone down. And the richest people on the planet have done nothing but get richer. Isn't that cute? MAGA, you guys like that part, right? I know you guys like that part. That's why I showed it. Like I told you guys, I try to be fair about this, you know? I told you we were going to watch Jennifer Welch. And I love me some Jennifer Welch, bro. I tell you what, man, I love me some Jennifer Welch. Right here, this is Jennifer Welch talking about the MAGA movement. And you got to love you some Jennifer Welch, too. MAGA, not you guys, because you guys, you know, nobody cares what you think. But listen to Jennifer.
They're terrified that middle America is going to find out who the real boogeyman is. And the real boogeyman is not the brown-skinned Abdul or the brown-skinned Zoran. The real boogeymen are white, crusty, pink arm Republicans like Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. These are the people that don't give a fuck about you.
They don't give a fuck about you at all. We just saw the chart, didn't we? Don't you guys love how good I am at stacking my show so that everything is related as we move forward? I just wanted to pat myself on the back for that. But you guys saw the chart, right? You saw the chart? They just keep on getting more and more money, and everybody else is going down. The union chart that I just showed you represents the United States of America. Less unions means less people getting more money and less protection and less equipment, the whole nine, everything that they need to do their job. More money going to the top, less money going to the people at the bottom, which is me and you. You can't make this up. But let's continue, Jennifer. I love you.
They never have, and they never will. The whole communist scare is total bullshit. These people, every single time they have the keys to the car, they drive it off a cliff.
They do, and I mention this all the time too. Every single time Republicans have control, and they do now because they have the presidency, the legislature, and also the courts. And whenever they have this, and historically this has been the case, we have been run to the ground every single time. And I know the MAGA dummies in my audience that are in there right now fighting for their life, bro. They want me to pay attention to what they're saying because they think that they're right and they're fighting for Donald Trump. He doesn't give a f about you at all. Not even a little bit. He fucking hates you, bro. And he's going to continue to hate you. He's going to continue to take away from you. The crime spree that he's on right now is unmatched. We've never seen anything like what we're seeing right now. Corruption after corruption after corruption is what he's performing in the office right now. And you guys are right there with him. Now just imagine if this was anybody else that was a Democrat, you'd be flipping your lid. You know what I mean? And it's as emotional as you MAGA men are. I mean, I can't imagine what that would be like. You know, we already done seen it when you guys were crying about how expensive eggs were and how much gas was when it was way lower under Joe Biden. But you know what? When gas went up to its highest, it was like $6 a gallon. You remember that? You know who else's fault that was? Donald Trump. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, Daniel, there's no way that was in 2022. Yeah, I know. There was a war that was just started by Russia, who's getting their asses handed to them by Ukraine. But that was right there at the end of what was a 2-year agreement that Donald Trump made Saudi Arabia agree to stop producing so much oil. Why did he do that? Because his oil buddies came to him and said, we're not making enough money. We're making billions, but we like tens and hundreds of billions. Is there anything that you can do to make oil prices go up? And Donald Trump, the dummy that he is, threatened Saudi Arabia so that they didn't produce as much oil. And it was a 2-year agreement. That was in April of 2020 that happened. And then what happened in 2022, we saw gas prices go to $6. Mainly to do with that, and then that war started making it even worse. But you guys said it was Joe Biden, right? Tell me one thing that Joe Biden did to make gas prices go up. Because all he did was make prices go down with his policies and everything else. You can't come up with one thing that he did. But that one thing that that Donald Trump did to make gas prices go up was exponential. But you don't care about that. You voted for him again. And then after that, in February of 2025, after he ridiculed and reprimanded Volodymyr Zelensky in the Oval Office with J.D. Vance, the America's queen himself, I said to you, it's over. China's going to become more powerful than we can ever possibly imagined. And another thing that I can promise you is that Donald Trump will do something, just like he did in 2020, to make gas prices go up. I mark my words when I tell you, it's not going to be because of anything else. It's going to be because the same way that we had gas prices go up in those 2 years, and in 2022 we saw the highest prices we've ever seen, and that was because of one guy. Nobody else was involved in that. Donald Trump did that by himself. And I promise you, there's only one person dumb enough that can ever pull this off again. And I promise you, he will do something again to make gas prices go up. He loves this because it makes him money and his oil friends money. He's getting money out of this. And what does he do? He attacks Iran twice in every attempt he possibly could to try to make gas prices skyrocket. The first time wasn't enough. So he went out on a full-fledged war by himself, started this war, and now look at where we are because of him. You can't make this up. Let's finish up with Jennifer.
No matter who the Republican president is, they do it time and time again. Yet, so many Americans say, well, I got to vote my pocketbook. Well, your pocketbook at the end of a Republican presidencies is always a disaster. Always. Everything always happens according to script. They cut taxes on the rich, which increases and balloons the national deficit. They start wars, which increases and balloons the national deficit, which exacerbates inflation. It's a shit show. It's foobar beyond all comprehension. And the parasites at the top keep sucking off of it. And they blame the people who absolutely can't suck off of anything for all of the country's problems.
They blame the people who don't have anything for all of the country's problems. But in fact, the country's problems are because of the Republican Party.